Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, so it's time for me to talk about the games I've been playing this week with you guys. I'll let you guys know my thoughts on them, whether I think you guys should check them out or not. You guys know I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts though, so if you guys have played any of the games I shared with you today, let me know how you guys enjoyed playing them. Maybe there's something you liked about them, maybe there's something you didn't really like about them. I'd also love to hear about games you guys have been playing this past week, as that gives me ideas of new games to play and experience. And if you guys have a recommendation on any game you think I might enjoy, let me know. Always looking for recommendations of new games to play and experience. Now, this has been a really good week for me, as I'm actually on vacation. This is my final vacation of the year. It did get delayed by a week, but I was finally able to start it this past Tuesday, and I actually don't have to go back work until next Friday, so I have a total of 10 days off, and it's been really nice to just be able to sit and relax, right here before the busy holiday time starts up, and it's just perfect time for me just to sit back and recharge and relax before our crazy, stressful holiday season. And so I've been able to get some gaming in this week, and able to spend time with my wife and family, and it's just been really good to just sit back and relax. So I've got two games to share with you guys today, and both of them I've been playing on my Xbox Series X. And the first one is the game I've been continuing from last week, and that is RoboCop Rogue City. It is exclusive to 9th gen consoles, so this was only released for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. But this is a fantastic game, and it was created by Teon, the same developers who created that wonderful Terminator Resistance game. And this is just a fantastic first-person shooter where you get to play as Alex Murphy, RoboCop. And this is a direct sequel to RoboCop 2 and a direct prequel to RoboCop 3. So the story elements in this game bridge the gap between those two movies, and it fills in the details of what happened at the end of 2 and the start of 3, which is really great, and I really love that. Read you guys from the back. So, part man, part machine, all cop. Your mission, eradicate crime from the streets of Detroit. Your strengths, robotic upgrades, and the strong arm of the law. Your weapons, anything necessary. A new original story set in the world of RoboCop. So they did a fantastic job with this game, as they are true fans of the franchise, and this got the same treatment that their Terminator Resistance game got, where they stayed very faithful to the lore and the world of RoboCop. They didn't try to change things, and they didn't make RoboCop into like a Superman, or he didn't fly around, or any kind of like craziness that sometimes developers like to do when they take on IPs, is they like to try to change it to fit their own needs and their own views and stuff. They stuck to the source material and kept it the way it should be, so that it fits well into the narrative of the world of RoboCop. And I really appreciate that they took that time to do that, and it really made for a fantastic story. They got Peter Weller to reprise his role as the voice of Alex Murphy and RoboCop, so that's really awesome. You get to hear his voice. All the other characters, Ann Lewis and Sergeant Reed, all the kinds of the old man from OCP, like all these characters return. Now, however, those characters are voiced with different voice actors, so they don't have the original voice actors from any other movies besides Peter Weller, but it is what it is. You can understand, being a AA studio, they're not going to have the money to pay for all these voice actors. Also, some of the actors actually have passed away. I know that the guy who played Sergeant Reed, I recently read that he had died years ago, so obviously they wouldn't be able to get him back. But it was just really awesome going into a finely crafted world in the world of RoboCop, and it's one I highly recommend you guys play. So let's take a look at RoboCop Rogue City. Alright guys, having another look here at RoboCop Rogue City. Such a fantastic first-person shooter created by Teon, the wonderful development studio behind the Terminator Resistance game. I'm having an absolute blast with this game, and I definitely recommend it if you are a fan of RoboCop to pick up and play this game. There is a few little cosmetic DLC packs released for this. One of them was a pre-order bonus, which actually gives you the look for RoboCop 2, which I actually have applied on to mine. I actually didn't even know that it had pre-order DLC until I looked at my receipt and saw there was a code printed on it from GameStop. So I downloaded that code and I was able to get a cool little skin here for RoboCop to give him his appearance from the second RoboCop movie. Now this game takes place directly after RoboCop 2 and before RoboCop 3, so it is a direct sequel and prequel to the third movie, so it fits right in with the story narrative, which is really awesome. So let's check it out. Does look really good here on 9th gen machines on my 4K TV. Really beautiful looking game. Now sometimes the character models aren't the best, but the rest of the environments do look really nice. The cars, like I'll show you this guy, you can look at him. Like the character models aren't always the best, but vehicles look really good. So do the textures on the street, and the water looks amazing. Like it looks so realistic with the reflections in it. Like really good job with that. Got your menu system here where you actually keep track of your map, and then you can go through anywhere in this area that's on the map that you can interact with, and it even highlights objects and stuff like ladders or areas that you can enter and where missions you can interact with. Just really cool. You have your overall objectives, stuff for you to do. You have your main objectives, your primary objectives, secondary, which is cool. There are some side missions you can take on, but you don't have to if you don't want to, but they do help you with leveling up because you do earn XP in this game, and you can actually delve deeper into the story by taking on some of these side missions, which is really awesome. RoboCop has his Auto 9, but you actually can upgrade. So just like they had in the Terminator Resistance game, you can upgrade his weapon here with these different boards, which is cool. They have different versions that you can find, and some are stronger than others. There's some secret ones you can find in the game. And then what's really interesting about the upgrade system for the gun is you have to be careful, because sometimes you can have negative effects where you can see all those red things like lose 5%. So you have to be careful with what kind of chips you insert there based on where the power is going to shoot out at. So example like this one, I had to make sure that I had one that only went to the left so that it didn't activate this negative effect or this negative effect. Same thing with this. Now some of these were impossible to do, like in order to get these to work, I had to sacrifice and have a 10% reduction and penalty. But otherwise you can see that my magazine size is up, weapon spread, reload speed, weapon damage, and armor piercing. And they all do, different ones that you find will have different kinds of chips that you insert there. So it's really cool, with the little upgrade thing. And you have to be kind of paying attention to have one thing better, but you might have to make a sacrifice on it. I'm really happy to show that I was able to get everything upgraded and only have to have one little negative percentage there, which that was not easy to do, but took a little time. He also has a skill system, so you can upgrade RoboCop as he earns 1,000 XP. He earns skill points, which I actually have 2 right now I can use. You can make his combat to do better in combat. You can make him stronger with his armor, his health and vitality, his engineering ability, focus, his scanning ability, his deduction, and his psychology. And this all impacts the different abilities that RoboCop has, which is cool. And then you have your little archive thing that keeps track of all the notes and stuff you find out throughout the game. What's really cool too is just how when you're walking around the world, you'll interact and you can find random missions and stuff just by interacting with the civilians in the world. Also, the game has cats, which is cool. So there's a couple little cats there. It's just great that it's not just a straight-up first-person shooter, just action non-stop, just killing. There are some periods where it slows down like this, where you can interact with the city, and RoboCop gets to be a cop, because he is a cop. He's not just a cyborg killing machine, he is a cop. And so you actually get to investigate crimes and stuff by scanning crime scenes and following clues and questioning suspects. So it's really cool that you have some of those kind of missions for RoboCop, and it kind of breaks up the action and lets you have some story elements and stuff, because the game does have a really good story, which I don't want to ruin for you guys. But just know that it is a sequel to RoboCop 2, and a direct prequel to what happens in RoboCop 3. So the game bridges that gap between the movies and explores what happened between it, which I think is really good. The combat is also great, so if you guys give me a moment, I'm going to load an older save where I did fight some enemies so you guys can get an idea of what the combat is like, because it's really fantastic. So give me a second here and we'll get to the combat. Alright, I've entered where we're going to get into some combat. So you can see a little cutscene, and this is just a side mission, so I won't be spoiling the story.
Officer? I can show you the exit if you want.
Have really good voice actors too for the various NPCs. Of course, occasionally, you know, you're going to run into people that sound the same. Wanted to show you guys too, like you can collect random evidence, like fake money and stuff. And it's best to explore these maps and look for areas you can go into, because you can actually unlock more XP for RoboCop, and the more XP you can get, the better off you'll be, because you can level them up. So I highly recommend that. So let's get into combat here. We'll skip. So, well, I can show you this. Like, see, here's a thing you can scan with his vision mode. And it'll tell you paintings already seen elsewhere. But it's cool because that's how he scans stuff, since he is a cyborg.
Trouble with the lock.
Seems that I forgot the key, but,
You will tell your story at the station.
Are you sure you have enough seats in your car to take us all?
If you do not come quietly, I will not need any.
Look out! This is our You've got no chance!
You can have up to 2 weapons. You have his Auto 9, but then you can take the enemy's weapons as well, which is really cool. And a lot of people complained about, in the one preview video they watched, that RoboCop seemed invincible, but they rectified that issue by you do take damage and you have a health bar. The idiot killed himself.
Shoot him in the face!
So I use one of his little abilities there, where you can slow down time, which you can unlock that through the skill system. So you guys got to see, you know, the combat is really fun. You know, he has the classic vision scan mode, and enemies do damage you. And I'm just playing on the normal difficulty, and it can get kind of crazy, especially as you get along further in the story, as the enemies get tougher. So they definitely fixed that issue that people were complaining about, that, oh, it doesn't seem like it's any kind of challenge at all, and the enemies don't really damage you at all. Yeah, you do want to take cover at times and avoid grenades and watch how much damage you do, because you can die. I have died just a few times in this game, but it's one I highly recommend you check out if you are a fan of RoboCop and you have a 9th gen console, because it is exclusive to 9th gen and PC, so PS5, Series X, and PC only. But if you ever get a chance to play it, I definitely recommend it. You will not be disappointed. It is a fantastic first-person shooter, and I really love being able to play a RoboCop game that is done really well. One of the best RoboCop games we've ever had released. You also have the wonderful Peter Weller voices RoboCop, Alex Murphy. Really cool. So definitely you guys should check out this game. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that look at RoboCop Rogue City. Such a fantastic game. I am gotten a lot further along in the game, and I'm definitely hoping to have this beat by the end of my vacation. If you are a fan of RoboCop and you loved the Terminator Resistance game, I recommend you give this one a try. You will not be disappointed. It's a really good game. They actually just recently released a patch this week for this game as well, fixing more bugs and issues that people have been encountering, which is something that's really awesome about Teon, is they listen to their fans and people report issues they have, and they take the time to actually go back and fix their games. Not a lot of companies do that these days. You kind of just release and decide, whatever, it doesn't work, go fuck yourself, basically. But Teon's like, no, if you guys are having issues, let us know, and we'll try to fix them to the best of our abilities. And so that is really awesome of them. So keep an eye out for more patches in the future if you notice any issues, as Teon will work on fixing them. So really awesome game here. And the other one is an old classic game that I have not played for a few years now, but it's one that I absolutely love, and that is Fallout 4. Such a fantastic game. This is actually my favorite in the Fallout series of all the different games I have. You know, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. 4 is my absolute favorite, and I do have the season pass for this, which is amazing because you have access to all 6 of the DLCs, and just a really good, well-crafted game. You know, Bethesda did an amazing job with this. It's such a shame, though, to see how that company has sunk and how far it's gone down with things like Fallout 76, and just the way they have been with their releases have just been kind of subpar, and just all kinds of stupid issues that they have had, and just wanting to be online all the time kind of setting. So really kind of kills the mood for their games. But they did do a fantastic job with Fallout 4, and if you've never had a chance to experience it, I highly recommend it. So let's take a look at Fallout 4. Today I'm revisiting an old classic, Fallout 4. It's been a number of years since I last played this game. Fantastic game I bought on day one. I actually pre-ordered the Pip-Boy edition for my Xbox One, which came with a cool Pip-Boy that you could put your phone in. I absolutely love this game, and I own the Season Pass, so I have all the wonderful DLC. And I have played this game for a long time. I played it for almost 100 hours now, and I still have a lot of stuff to do in it. So let's continue it here. It shows me for 3 days, 19 hours, and 10 minutes, and I'm level 44. And the game does look really good on the Series X, as it does get upscaled from the Xbox One, which is great. Fantastic visuals, and this is my favorite of any of the Fallout games that I have ever played. I absolutely love Fallout 4. Such a fantastic game, and it's such a shame to realize how far Bethesda has fallen from the days of games like Fallout 4. It has pretty good load times on the Series X too. It's a lot of improvement over the Xbox One. The game loads just so much faster. Still has kind of long load times because there is a lot of stuff for it to load, but it does load way quicker than it did before. I love that these games have always allow you to be a third-person mode, or you can go into first-person mode, which is cool, which I like to do first-person for combat, but when I play the game I like to have my third-person. And what's cool is you can actually adjust the camera. You can zoom it in or out, which is great. And you can customize the color scheme. Like I have mine set for red, but you can change it to any color you want in the options menu, which is great. I also have this building DLC, and so I was able to construct all of this stuff from the workshop DLC. So I put up those walls there, and I built this turrets and stuff to protect Sanctuary here. And you use that with the different materials and supplies you have, which I can get into that menu, which is cool. And you can have a variety of things to build, and you can unlock stuff as you play the game. Yeah, you can build beds for characters to sleep on, and you can build these walls and turrets to protect. And it's just really cool having these creation tools available. And I built all of this stuff myself.
which is really cool. And I'm doing it to build a big perimeter around here to protect my sanctuary here from random enemies in the world, which can happen to you. You can have raiders and things attack you, which is what I've been working on, defending this area. And there's a bunch of things that I've built, like these slot machines for my residents to enjoy. And then I even built this big structure here, a piece at a time, and made my own like little cabin type thing for people to live in with different materials and stuff. And then on top is actually where I keep my power armors that I found in the game. So there's a whole bunch of different power armors that I found, which is really cool. I also have some turret thing there, and then this is where I can actually build my robots, because I have the robot DLC. So, which is neat. You can get in there and go to craft, and like I can choose this HK unit that I created, which is a Tectron robot, which is one of my favorites in the Fallout lore, because it kind of reminds me of the robot from Lost in Space. But it's pretty cool. So you can build your own robots with that DLC. And you can actually customize them however you want them to be, with the different body parts, and you can mix and match different of the robots together, which is cool. And they can also become companions that you can actually have follow you around, which is neat. Or you can have them just become patrolling the area. Which, like, there's another 180 that I built. Whoop. And so someone will go around and will patrol this area, which is cool. There's another one around here somewhere. There they are. There's a couple more that I built that are traveling. And then there's my Codsworth, which is Mr. Handy robot. So there's just all kinds of cool DLC for this game as well. Let me see. You have your Pip-Boy, which keeps track of your inventory system, which is cool. So you keep your stats, your special, which is where you put your skill point stuff, and then the perks you unlock. Your inventory, which is, you have great management of that. Keeping track of all your quests, which I've completed, I think, like 60 quests or something. I still have so many more to go through, plus all the different DLC. It's got a pretty decent sized map here. As you can see, I've unlocked a lot. I've pretty much unlocked almost the entire map, but I still have all those other DLCs to do. There's the radio stations you can listen to, so the game doesn't have its own in-game music you can listen to, which is cool. It's got a day and night cycle. You also have a flashlight you can turn on, which is really neat. And there's also random weather effects that happen. Like, see, now it's gotten kind of hazy and foggy out, which can limit your visibility. And as you run through the world, you know, you'll encounter just random enemies. And the higher your level is, the higher the enemies you'll encounter, as the game will scale with you, which is really cool. You can run into random people who are bringing supplies and stuff, which I have actually set up because I have these different bases that you can build. And that's one of the jokes of the game is you do have to take care of settlements that you have in this world as you get missions from the different factions. And one of the main factions that you're part of from the beginning of the game is called the Minutemen. But there's a bunch of other ones like the Institute, the Brotherhood of Steel is in this game, which is cool. And you can choose to ally yourself with these different factions. You can join them, do their quests for them. Sometimes they conflict with each other because one wants you to kill one person, but this other faction might want you to save them. And so it can affect the outcome because there's different outcomes to the story. So it does allow yourself to play multiple playthroughs. But for me, these kind of games, I always just do one character that I play like hundreds of hours into these games because there's just so much to do and to explore. Just like with previous games in the Fallout universe, you can have a companion with you. So I have like Nick Valentine, and I can interact with him. He can hold stuff for me. I can give him things to equip, and it's always good to take a companion with you. And there's a variety of different ones you can find. I definitely would recommend getting the strategy guide for this game, as it'll have all the tips and stuff to play the main game. However, the DLC is not in that, and I don't know if they actually released like a complete edition strategy guide like they did it with other games that Bethesda made. If it does, I definitely need to get that, because I have the original Fallout 4 Collector's Strategy Guide, which comes in very handy with knowing where some of the secrets and the stuff are in the world. So we'll see if we can find enemy to fight. But this one takes place in the Commonwealth here. See if we can find something real quick where we can possibly run into some enemies, maybe. Because you can fast travel the game too once you unlock a thing. Rust Devils are new NPCs that were added to the game that I got with that DLC. Ooh, you also have to watch out for radiation because there is radiation in the world. So give me a second to pause it, and then when we get into some combat, I'll show you guys that. Alright, we found some people somewhere to fight. And this takes place in Boston. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name of it, but this takes place in Boston, which is a pretty cool setting for the game. Ooh, a legendary one. Oh shit, her name. Fuckers. They have a huge variety of weapons to choose from as well, which is cool. God. These bastards. Ooh, they got a robot too. Love this weapon I found. Fuckers, eat that. So there are different difficulty settings you can play on. So there's it's like different easy all the way to super hard. You can also do this like survival mode, which you can make it even more difficult where it takes time to actually heal, because you can have broken bones and broken arm, things like that. And on the normal setting, you know, when you heal, it just heals everything. But if you play that survival mode, gotcha, bitch. You takes longer to heal, makes it more realistic, and makes it much more difficult. You also can loot the bodies, take all their stuff, which I like to do because I will loot it for stuff I want to keep, and then the rest I will sell off so I can get it to earn bottle caps, because the game's currency is actually in bottle caps, which is a staple for the Fallout universe. So take out these fuckers, and this will be now my territory. It's also cool too, is you can pick up bodies and objects, and you can actually interact with them, which is kind of neat. You know, like, oh, here, bitch, let's get rid of you, and we'll just, woo, there you go, go drop. So it's just fun. I have not played Fallout 4 in so long. It was just great revisiting this. You know, they had several patches that fixed issues. You know, it's got so much DLC that if you've never played Fallout 4, I definitely recommend you give Fallout 4 a try, as it's a really cheap game nowadays, and I do recommend getting like the Game of the Year edition or buy the season pass. You can get all the wonderful DLC, because there's so much great DLC for the game that I definitely recommend it. You also can get mods and stuff on it, even in these console ones. I think if I go to the main menu, it actually will show the DLC that's available. Yes, you have the Amatron. That's one of the with robots you can build, the Wasteland workshops you can build your own stuff. There's a Far Harbor DLC which has a lot of stuff to do it. Contraptions Workshop, which gives you more workshop stuff. This Vault Tech stuff, you can build your own vault, which is cool. And then Nuka World. So you can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big add-ons for this game that just add hundreds of hours of content to an already massive game. I definitely recommend checking out Fallout 4. If you never got to, now is a perfect time to play this. It's a really cheap game to get.
Hope you guys enjoyed that little look at Fallout 4. I've got like 100 hours into Fallout 4 now over the years, because I got this on day one. I got that Pip-Boy edition, which was really cool, because it came with a little Pip-Boy that you could put on your arm, and then you would stick your phone in there, and you could download this Pip-Boy app, and you can actually access the in-game inventory with your phone, which was really neat at the time, which I'm pretty sure that you can't get that app anymore. I think it's been delisted, but it was really cool at the time to use those features. Really love the DLC, as I've only beat a couple of them. There's still like the Nuka World and the Far Harbor DLCs that I need to go through and explore, as I love the DLCs they have for the game, because it really adds even more content to the game that's already massive as it is. I do highly recommend getting the strategy guide for this game as well, because it'll definitely help you with going through the different stories. I love the variety of factions in the game that you can be a part of, you know, and you can choose, and there's multiple endings that are always in these kind of Fallout games. And these are the kind of games that I just love playing. You get a lot of time in them. So we'll do our quick little recap. You know, we talked about RoboCop Rogue City. This was such a fantastic first-person shooter. The best RoboCop game I've ever played in my life. They did a fantastic job. You really feel like RoboCop. The game, the story, the music, voice acting, just everything looks really good. And they definitely are fans of the RoboCop series. And so you know that they built it out of love for the franchise, and I'm hoping that we'll see some DLC for this like we did for Terminator Resistance. Such a fantastic game. Highly recommend RoboCop Rogue City. And then of course we talked about the classic that is Fallout 4, a wonderful open world action RPG where you got first person, third person views, huge variety of weapons, enemies. There's a bunch of DLC for the game. There's just so much to do in this game that could keep you busy for hundreds of hours. And it's a wonderful game and my favorite in the Fallout series. But let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys have played RoboCop Rogue City, or if you've played Fallout 4. What were your thoughts on them? Love to hear about the games you guys are currently playing. And if you have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, well, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day. And Sleepy will see you next time.